How I dropped 57 pounds changing my diet. Welcome back for another video to Recalibrate with Nate. And in this video, I wanted to share with you some of the things that went down in my brain to help me change my mindset and to change my whole sense of self, and a byproduct that was dropping 57 pounds. Nearly 60 pounds I dropped by changing my diet. Before we get into this, I want to let you know that everything that we have for sale, our books, our recipes, our meal plans, my course, everything's 40% off. I'll put the links right here as well as in the description down below. 40% off, you can get any one of these plans. Now, as I'm going to get into this video, this was the biggest thing that helped me drop the weight. Now, I didn't come into this lifestyle, and it's like you change up everything in your life as a lifestyle, right? Diet is a diet. Lifestyle is everything else that goes on with your life, like going to bed on time, hydrating, sitting quietly for a moment, going for walks. That's the lifestyle. So I wanted to change up my lifestyle, and I needed a plan. I needed a plan to follow of the nutrition that I was going to be ingesting on a day-to-day basis. So I got on YouTube and I searched around and I connected with someone. I connected with Lissa, Raw Food Romance, who now is my wife. And if you want to hear our love story, we've got a separate video on that and how that all transpired. It's an amazing story. I won't get into it right now, but what I will get into is I was searching. I had some sort of feeling that I wanted to change my diet and lifestyle. I'm working in the hospital. I'm seeing all kinds of people with all kinds of issues. I worked in a skilled nursing facility as a CNA, a certified nurse assistant. I worked with Alzheimer's patients and I worked with incontinent patients. And it was just really sad to see some of these individuals in their 50s, 60s, 70s, having all kinds of issues. And a lot of those issues stemming from what they eat. As well as I worked in a coronary care unit. I worked with patients who had open heart surgery. I worked in a pulmonary clinic, people who couldn't breathe at night, had to wear a CPAP machine and be on all kinds of medications. I worked with patients who had diabetes in the endocrinology clinic. Like, these sorts of things really started to shift my mind to like, oh my gosh, I need to switch stuff up or I'm going to be headed down the same exact path as these other individuals. So this is where the plan came in. I got on YouTube. I found someone, like I said, Lissa from Raw Food Romance. She had a recipe book. I liked what she was talking about. She really helped me in so many ways. This is the kind of tools that you need to be a raw foodie. These are the kinds of things that we should be eating on a day-to-day basis. So I bought her book and I simply followed the meal plan. It was a 30-day meal plan, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Every single day was different. So there's 90 recipes in her volume 1 meal plan. She has 3 volumes now. And I just followed that plan. It was so simple. Now, of course, it was not simple to put it into action. This is the biggest thing, is putting it into action. I have tried different things so many different times. I'm probably like the majority of people. We go on these different yo-yo diets, and I really wanted to stick with something, and this just made sense to me. So what I did was I just followed the plan. It was tricky in the beginning, because this is something that isn't usual, right? I'm not used to buying only fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds as my primary source of nutrients and calories. So I had to change the way that I was thinking about food. But with that plan, all I did was just follow it step by step. In there, she had everything that I needed to buy as far as on the grocery list for that particular day. So it was really easy. I didn't have to think. I didn't have to put much energy into what am I going to eat today? What should I have for breakfast? What should I have for lunch? What should I have for dinner? It was all mapped out. And when you have a plan, something to follow, as long as we just implement it, we don't think about it, we just implement it. We get out of our head, we stop thinking, and we just do it. We know this is going to be beneficial for us. I knew that I was going to be hitting all my macros, get all the calories that I need. I understood about protein. I was going to be getting enough protein, so I just implemented that plan. That was plain and simple. That's all I did. Now, after, it was about 7 months. In 7 months' time, I was down 57 pounds, okay? That's incredible. And there was people that were thinking like, what are you doing? You're wasting away, because most of the people who knew me knew how I was. We know how people are when we look at them all the time, you know, year in, year out. You're like, oh yeah, you know, that's who they are. People were seeing me. I was getting thin in my neck. I was thinning up in other areas. And they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, man, I feel great. I'm eating fruits and vegetables, and I'm having smoothies and fruit for snacks and a couple salads a day, and I'm making some gourmet raw stuff at night once in a while. I feel amazing. And the byproduct was dropping the 57 pounds. That's not why I was going into this. I was going into this because I don't want to be like the rest of the people who are on medications out there. There's so many people on so many different medications in the world. And it's just like disheartening to see. And then we kind of just take it like, well, this is my genetics. My family has these diseases. I'm probably going to have these diseases. And oh, I'm feeling sore. I'm getting old. It doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. Now, not to say that raw foods is going to make you invincible and you're going to live forever, but man, it is so incredible when you start to ingest more raw foods. I went basically cold turkey overnight. I'm done with cooked food and I'm done with animal products. I was already plant-based, right? I was already vegan, so it really made sense to me. It was easy to make the transition to going raw because I didn't have any of the animal products in my diet. So what I did though was I got uncomfortable. I got uncomfortable in the sense that I went the extra mile by bringing my Vitamix to work with me every single day. That was it. That, you know how like they say like, hey, if you want to work out the next day, make sure you lay your shoes and your running shorts and your workout clothes out for you so you don't even have to think about it. What you can do is you can just go right into the workout. That's what I did. I packed my blender with me every single day to work. It was really uncomfortable. There was people like, whoa, Nate, like you're bringing your Vitamix to work and you're cutting up vegetables and you're making smoothies in the morning. Like, you know how it is. We all want to be healthy. I feel that the majority of the population wants to be healthy, but it's just so easy to just eat the funk. So what I did was I just brought my Vitamix to work. That right there was the cue that was going to keep me on point. I'm not going to go down to the food truck. I'm not going to go down to the cantina. I'm going to make the food that I had planned to make. I've got the recipe book. I thought about it the day before. What do I need to plan? What do I need to bring to work tomorrow? Okay, this is what I'm going to have for my salad. I'm going to make sure I've got these ingredients chopped up. I would chop certain things the night before, and I would just bring a head of lettuce in a bag and I would chop it fresh at work. I would do my cucumber and my tomato at work. That way it's just fresh. It was super simple. I was completing building a beautiful salad in a shorter amount of time than it took my coworkers to go to the cantina or to the cafeteria or to the food trucks and bring back their sack lunch. I sat down with a delicious, healthy, raw salad, no oil, no salt, no added sugars, delicious. I just did this every single day. This is how I dropped the weight. I started off my morning to bring you through, and I've got what I ate in a day. I did do a couple of videos when I was working in the hospital. You'd have to scroll back. There are some of the first videos that I put out, and I need to make more of what I eat in a day today. It's basically the same thing. And it can be looked at as like, oh, that's kind of boring. You just have smoothies and salads, maybe some ice cream and fruit. That's what it is every single day. But this body, this multi-gazillion dollar machine, this Maserati that the soul gets to drive is worth that. And all it needs to operate is fresh fruits and vegetables to its highest functions. Now, of course, diet is so incredible. It's a controversial subject in so many ways. You know, it's like religion or politics. But realistically, when we start to open up our minds and be non-biased to information, which I was, that was the click, we can see that we're going to get everything that we need with plants. So that's what I did. I brought my Vitamix to work. I implemented and followed the plan. I cut everything up fresh every single day. So to lead you through my day, this is what it was. I would start out my day making sure my bag was packed. The night before, I went over the plan of tomorrow, right? Like, what am I gonna have tomorrow for breakfast? What's lunch? I'm not gonna have to worry about dinner because I'm gonna make dinner when I get home. So I would have fruit for breakfast. A lot of times it was a melon. If the melons weren't in season, I would have grapes, or I would have several other pieces of fruit that, like, you know, some of the stone fruits like apples and pears, or I would make a smoothie. This is how I would start my morning after a few hours of being awake. Always start off with lemon water. I would drink a quart of lemon water first thing upon awakening, and this is a really key point that the majority of us, everybody should be, not the majority of us, everybody should be drinking a quart of water, fresh, clean water in the morning. Lemon water, lime water, delicious. Get that quart of water in, 1 liter of water every single morning. Then I would have fruit for breakfast. I would have more fruit for snacks or a smoothie. It was always fruit or a smoothie or melon, some sort of fruit, something really simple, easy to digest to start my morning off. And then when it came down to lunch, like I said, I would, you know, chop up my cucumber. I would chop up my salad, the lettuce, chop up the tomato. I'd throw some mixed greens in there. Maybe I would have a carrot and I would shred up some carrot real quick. Maybe some sprouts, different things like this. I would throw in the salad, make a salad. I had my bowl with me, my knife, my cutting board, everything with me. Everything with me. There's no excuses. We can make so many excuses. I was done with making excuses. I hated looking at myself in the mirror. I didn't like the way that I looked. I didn't like the way that I felt. And I knew, being in the medical industry, I knew I was headed down the same roads as these other individuals if I didn't change up my ways. So, like I said, it wasn't about losing weight, but I stuck with this. I stuck with following that meal plan. Lissa at the time didn't know who I was. I just followed her recipes, and I found recipes that I liked to make on a daily basis. The French dressing is a very simple dressing. That's what I made almost every single day at lunch. Very rarely would I do a creamy dressing with some sort of nuts or seeds. It was just the French dressing. Dates, garlic, lemon juice, some smoked paprika, maybe a little bit of shallot or onion in there, and water. So it was good calories, it was sweet, it was sour, it was mouth-wateringly delicious. Had a little savory in there with that smoked paprika. Absolutely incredible. It was satiating, and I felt really good after that. Then the midday crash comes, right? You're working, it's 3 o'clock, I would make banana ice cream, or I would make a smoothie. So what I did, luckily, I was able to bring frozen fruit into my work, and I put that in the freezer. I had a bag of different kinds of frozen fruit so I could make up a smoothie. I just did this every single day. I would go home and have another salad. The nighttime salad was a higher fat salad, something made with some sort of soaked nuts or seeds to make it a little more creamy. I'd maybe have a little avocado. I just did this every single day. In a way, in the beginning, it was slightly boring. I was like, man, you know, that turkey sandwich, friends wanted to buy me lunch. Like, Nate, we're going out of the truck. You want something? I'm like, man, I really do. But no, I don't, because it's a slippery slope. I want to stay true with this. Like, I want to try this out. I want to try this raw food thing out. What is this? This makes sense to me. I just stuck with it every single day. Sure, I was craving certain things certain days. I love popcorn, right? I love rice and potatoes. But those 3 things, popcorn, rice, and potatoes, what did I really love about it? I loved the salt and the oil that I would add to it. So I was like, man, I don't need that. I'm just going to stick with the raw food. And this is what I did. And over that 7-month period, following the plan, just following the recipes, no thinking, here's the grocery list for the next 3 days, buy everything on the list and make everything on the list of those particular days. How could I fail? It's just like if you buy a workout program, or maybe you want to learn how to jump rope or learn how to do a handstand or learn how to ride a bike. You have to practice every single day. And eventually it just becomes second nature. After a couple months, man, I was shopping so super quick. I knew exactly what I needed to get. There'd be certain things that I would see in the grocery store and I'm like, that looks really good. I'm just going to buy that. Ooh, I want that in my salad too. Ooh, some bell peppers looking good. They're on sale. It was so quick and easy. By the 3rd month, it was second nature. It was like I'd been doing it for years. I didn't have to think. I knew what I wanted to make. I was barely having to tap into the recipe book. It was the only book that I had. There's lots of recipe books, and sometimes plans and books and all these things can be kind of overwhelming, but I just stuck with this plan. It made sense to me. And it was very simple, very, very simple. You just don't think and you just do. You just do it. And over the time, amazing things happen, right? Like I'd have to take Claritin every single year for my allergies. Always stuffed up, snotty nose, stuffy, bringing toilet paper with me everywhere I go, a little bit so I could have something to blow my nose. Dandruff, I had bad dandruff, like embarrassing, like flakes all the time. It was really embarrassing. Nobody likes dandruff. Dry scalp, now of course, there's all kinds of different things that can cause a dry scalp, right? But it was so amazing to watch these certain things. The allergies went away. I didn't get the seasonal colds like I used to get, little flu symptoms, just by changing my diet. And as a result of following this and just staying true to what I really want, which is I want to be healthy long term. I would love for you to be just as healthy and just as vibrant and just as excited to be alive. And that's why I want to make these videos. There's so much to talk about. There's so many things that I would like to discuss to help recalibrate your mindset. Because if you're here and you're not eating a predominantly raw diet, maybe that's why you're here. Maybe you clicked on this because you're thinking like, oh my gosh, this guy lost 57 pounds. What did he do? And if you stayed this long, give yourself a thumbs up. You're still here. This is amazing. This is amazing when you switch it up and you go to eating a predominantly raw diet. You don't have to be fully raw. But if you eat high raw, I'm talking like 75 to 80% of your calories are coming from raw food. You're going to feel amazing. And just doing that alone, you're going to see changes within yourself. For me personally though, there it was, 57 pounds down in 7 months from just adopting a raw food diet. So hopefully you got something from this video. Hopefully something rung you and helped you. I really, really would love to see more people in the world eat more fresh raw fruits and vegetables, and that's the mission. The mission is like, all right, I need to like make more YouTubes. I need to stop being scared to make a YouTube and just be myself on this channel so you can understand kind of like where I'm coming from and feel me. I want you to feel me. Not that it's incredible. Of course, we need to change things up in so many ways, and it does start with ourselves, right? It starts with ourselves. And yeah, so anyhow, whatever the case is, hopefully you got something from this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications for new uploads. I'm uploading weekly YouTubes. I would like to get more YouTubes coming out to you, maybe like a couple a week. I'd love to do more of what I eat in a day so you can actually see what I eat. It's basically the same all the time. But in the same breath, not that that's boring, because what we eat on a daily basis is pretty much the same as well, right? Like we're eating the same kind of things. We're eating cereal, we're eating yogurt, we're eating oatmeal, we're eating, burritos or tacos or, sandwiches, and we're having like meat and vegetables at night. It's the same thing over and over and over again. And that's what raw foods are. It's the same thing. You're eating the same thing over and over and over again, but it's delicious. Changes up the way that you taste, changes up your body composition, changes up your mindset, changes up your energy. It's so incredible. So if you need some help, like I said in the beginning, we've got the books, we've got meal plans, we've got a meal plan app. The whole concept is, of course, we would like to be able to help you in any way that we can, taking the thinking out of it where you can just follow something. If you implement these things, your life is going to change. Just like if you were to go jump rope every single day, you're going to get stronger. If you do a pull-up every single day, or push-ups all the time, or you ride your bike, like that's going to be beneficial to you. Same as eating raw foods. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Share it with your friends, and leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. But this is amazing. 57 pounds. Like, I looked at some pictures last night and I was like, oh my gosh, I should do a video on this. I lost 57 pounds just eating raw foods. And of course, I've been maintaining my weight for years since then, right? It's incredible. I used to be overweight. I was on the obese side. My blood pressure has changed. All sorts of things have changed just by changing my diet. But it starts with some sort of recalibration in the way we think about things. Find your why. Hop on this train with us. Eat more raw fruits and vegetables. Like I said, meal plans, recipe books, and the links in the description below. I'll put it right here. 40% off everything using the code RAWFOOD40. And this is our gift to you to help you. Like, let's drop 40% on these books and help more people just adopt these sorts of things into their life. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next one. Love you.